Custom Crochets, and I am coming at you with episode 2 of my apparent podcast. Ooh, I'm gonna spill this tea on myself. Yeah. So apparently, podcasting now, or vlogging, or whatever you want to call it. I want to make a petition for calling it a vodcast. That sounds terrible. Let's not call it that. But it's a visual podcast, because podcast is audio, and vlog is a visual, or a video blog, or something. I don't know. Whatever. I'm talking to you about crafty stuff. You can find everything about me that you might ever need to know at bellascustomcrochets.com. And we will link all of the important bits down below. But yeah, I'm just here to talk to you about my makings today. I don't think it will be as long as last time. Last time was about an hour. I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit under today, but we'll see. We're still kind of messing around with the format of how it's going to work and the video angle and everything, and making it up as we go. But thanks for joining me. Thought I was going to sneeze. Guess not. Which is a great segue into, I have been coming off of like a 3-week cold. So my daughter's been sick, I've been sick, and I'm feeling better now, but I still sound kind of mucusy. So a little congested. I have some elderberry tea here, which is a lovely purple color. So I'm going to take some sips on that, and hopefully we make it through. If there's a coughing fit, we'll edit it out. But I'm feeling much better, so I think we're okay. Anyway, today is Wednesday, the 27th, maybe, of November. It is the day before Thanksgiving. This will be coming to you later, though, so that doesn't matter, but I like to say when the date is just to have it chronologically make sense. But yes, I'm coming to you from Connecticut, where I live, and this is going to mostly be about crocheting. There's a little bit of knitting in there, a little bit of making, a little bit of purchasing. But yeah, we're just going to have a little chat, and I'm going to sip my little tea, and that's going to be that. Every time I take a sip, it feels like a 45-minute pause, but I'm assuming you don't feel that way. Okay, I'm going to put this up here and hopefully not spill it on myself or the other. Okay, it's going to live with the other fox mugs because there's many of them. All right, I have show notes, so hopefully I stay on track. Yes. Okay. Other thing I wanted to address, I don't even know if you can tell, but this chaos, guys. We are living the wisp life over here. There's this thing that happens to people when they have a baby called postpartum hair loss, which I guess 3 or so months after having a baby, your hormones do some weird stuff and your hair falls out. Mine did not, so I didn't experience that. But apparently it's a thing that happens to a lot of women, and it's normal, and everybody lives. Something about just the hormones and your hair, and they're not playing nice together. But I guess you lose some hair. But then after that is usually followed by postpartum hair growth, which is apparently what we are experiencing, though I didn't lose any of my hair. I have a lot of hair to begin with, but we're in this weird, like, really long, like 3 or 4 inch wisp fade. Like, if I take my glasses off, it's even worse, guys. Like, what are these? What do I do with this? So they're too short to contain into anything. I'm too crunchy to use hair products. I'm obviously not going to, like, put 87 bobby pins and stuff in my hair. So we are just living the wisp life anytime I put my hair up. And yeah, so we're just wisping. So if it looks like I just rolled around in bed and jumped on camera, sort of because I didn't. I totally brushed my hair, been up for a little bit. I guess I could do it without the glasses. There's probably a glare. Let's take those off. Where are we putting them? Put them up here with the tea. Okay. I'm going to lose those, not know where they are later. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm wispy. I'm congested. And it's kind of foggy and gross out, so hopefully the color isn't too funky. We'll see. What am I wearing today, guys? I am wearing my Dandelion dance shawl, which I think I've talked about in a previous video, but I think I was wearing the other colored version of it. This was a custom dye job by Montana Crochet, did limited edition kits for it. But the Dandelion dance shawl, I can take it off and show you, is an asymmetrical crochet. So you can't really fit it all on the screen, but it's skinny up here, and then it gets asymmetrically down here. And it's a 4-color DK weight in all the sections. It has 6 sections, and they are all very different. I think I'm showing you. I can't see this card. Very different. It's definitely not a mindless project. It's definitely you need to be paying attention. And all the math is done for you, and it has a whole separate sheet with the pattern with stitch counts and stuff to keep track of, but just because it changes pattern so much, you do need to kind of pay attention. It's definitely intermediate, advanced, adventurous, beginner. But this is kind of my pride and joy pattern. I really love it. And I wanted to wear it today because earlier this week it finally broke 100 sales, which was my first pattern to do that. Which maybe to you that's not a big number. I'm sure there's people who sell 100 sales in the first 10 minutes of putting up a pattern, and this has been up since like around Easter. But for me that was huge. It's been a goal since I've been designing. I've been designing for about 2 years. Yeah, that's right, about 2 years. That I wanted to have a single pattern clear 100 sales, and the fact that this one did is just really made me very happy. So thank you to anybody who has purchased it. Or any of my patterns really, because that's the reason I get to design, is people buy it. So thank you for supporting independent designers like myself. And yeah, if you haven't grabbed the Dandelion Dance Shawl, I mean, I highly recommend it. I think it's great. But yeah, it's a really good hand-dyed yarn project if you have maybe some skeins of DK that you didn't think go together. Like, these aren't really colors that you probably would think to put together, but yeah, if you look at the Dandelion hashtag Dandelion Dance Shawl tag on Instagram, there's all sorts of inspiration for all the beautiful versions that people have done, and I've made 4, but 2 of them were the same yarn, so I've made 3 versions myself, and just based on yarn choices, it looks totally different. And you could even do it in a solid color if you wanted, or 2 color, but it's set up for 4 colors and to have some really contrasty fun. Like, you get to the end and it's just really fun bits down there. But yeah, I wanted to mention that quickly. So I'm sure maybe that 100 seems like a lot to some people, maybe it seems like nothing to some people. Like, I'm sure Andrea Mowry is not watching this podcast, let's be honest, but people like Andrea Mowry, Caitlin Hunter, who are like the big crochet designers? I don't even know, guys. Like, those are big names in knitwear. I'd be interested to know. Drop me a comment who you think are those, like, iconic crochet designers. I feel like Tony of TL Yarn Crafts, everything she releases is gold, and I'm sure it doesn't sell out because it's a pattern, but it sells a ton in the first, like, 30 seconds. Maybe, like, Ashley from Crafty Concept. I feel like her stuff does really well when it releases. But whatever. It's not a competition. I'm competitive. I like to know who my competition is. But I'm not selling 100 patterns first day. But not today, maybe someday. So everybody starts somewhere. You gotta remember that. But yeah, thank you for celebrating with me. So that's all I have to say about what I'm wearing today. I'm not gonna have a ton of whips to show you today, only because I haven't been doing anything. It's the time of year where I'm doing custom orders a lot. And obviously I don't want to hold on to somebody's Christmas gift and use it in a podcast. So I have been making and sending out, shipping, like that. That's what the custom orders do. So I don't have a ton of finished crochet items to show you because I've been signing them off. Yeah. So I will show you what I have, and I have a couple of things. I think it's enough. I don't know. It's my podcast. I make the rules. Who am I worried about? I'll show you what I got. I'm going to take another sip of my tea that I'm going to have to do some acrobatics to get from behind me. Almost dropped it. Didn't. Okay. Note to self, we need to get a side table. I have all the crochet projects balanced on a upside down basket, but that would not be a sturdy thing for tea. Anyway, let's get into what I'm working on. This is actually not crochet. This is a work in progress. This is a test knit for WhiteOwlCrochetCo. This is, I think it's ultimately going to be called the Seismic Slouch. It started out as the Seismic Beanie, but I think we decided Slouch was a better name for it. This is in testing right now. She has it in, I think, think 3 to 6 months is the smallest size. I'm not sure if she has a 0 to 3, but she has infant sizes all the way up to adult men's or adult large. So it is a twisted rib stripe. I don't know, is it picking up the stripes? It is a 2-color, so there's like this multicolor shenanigans, and then there's I can just show you the yarn, that'd probably be easier. 2-color stripe situation. Ooh, some stuff fell on the floor. Good thing the tea wasn't on there. So this was we've done a lot of adjustments during the test, because we were kind of doing it Cal style, where she had only written part of the pattern and she wanted some feedback before she finished it. So we've been, where's my yarn coming from? Okay. It's got some wild stuff going on with it. But this was originally the 1 to 3 year size, making it for my daughter, but then we decided that twisted rib actually had more stretch than we gave it credit for, and look, it's a bun beanie with strings. So yeah, the 1 to 3 year old size ended up like fitting my head, and my gauge was correct and everything. So she's taken some ease out of it and made it a little smaller. So realistically, this is probably a youth size or an adult small at this point. So my daughter's just gonna be able to wear it her whole life. It does fit on her head. It just has a lot of, I have fuzzies in my face now. It's still there. Okay. So, oh boy. Okay. Cut that out if you want, Jojo. If not, let me look like a fool. Anyway, yeah, so it's going to fit her slouchy style, and I think it's going to have enough to fold the brim over. So seeing as it fits my head, will literally be able to wear this for the duration of her life, if she would like to. But yeah, I love twisted rib. It's a labor of love, obviously. It's twisted rib all the way throughout the hat. But it's the one where you're only twisting the knit side, so it does have more stretch, because I know if you twist the purl side as well, it's not so stretchy. This does have a nice bit of stretch to it. We're wrapping the test up this week, I think. I don't know when she's planning on releasing this. Molly is like throwing patterns out into the world like a mad woman. She has, I think, 6 in testing right now, and she's doing markets, and she's a busy lady. We're going to talk about more of Molly's endeavors in a moment. But also, how cute is this stitch marker I made for myself? This crazy cat lady. I got a notification last night. I don't know if you interact with a lot of like Facebook pages, like business pages, or I guess influency accounts. I don't know. But Meowingtons is a like cat cartoon page. I got a notification last night that was like, "You're one of the top fans of Meowingtons." And I was like, yeah, that's pretty accurate, because I like and interact with all of their posts. So apparently I'm a top fan of Crazy Cat Lady status, so I know this is fitting. Just a charm that I got from, I think, Hobby Lobby. And then I made these stitch markers too. So I'm up to the point in the hat where I need to do the crown decreases, and then I think we're done. So I will show you that when it is finished and let you know when she's releasing it. And yeah, it's going to be cute. I'm a little squidgen, as we call her. Her coat is hot pink, so that will look very cute, and she will be highly visible in the snow. Not that I lose my baby, you know, but she will be high visibility this season in her neon pinks. So that is, I think, the only whip I have to show you, just like I said, because I finished off all the crochet stuff and sent it out. Do I want to show you the finished objects next? I think I'll show you the finished objects next. This is the WhiteOwlCrochetCo show, brought to you by Bella's Custom Crochets. I'm not showing you any of my own patterns today. I'm showing you all of Molly's patterns. If you go back to episode 1, I ramble on about Molly's greatness for quite some time, so I'll save you that. But if you want to hear all about how fantastic she is, you can go back to that. But this is her Vantis Peplum. We're wrapping up the test for this one next week, I think, so it's still in testing. But it is a raglan top, which is just, you know, when you do those increases starting at the neck and then going down to the arms. The original design, like I said, if you go back to the previous podcast, I think I show it in its original form there, but it is a sleeveless, or it stops where the raglan part stops, so it's not really sleeveless. Maybe cap sleeve, short sleeve, I'm not sure how you would describe it. It doesn't have sleeves. because I added this starting from like here down I added. So it had a little tiny shoulder sleeve. And then it has this beautiful pineapple lace peplum on the bottom, which again, I talk about in great detail on the other one, so I won't talk about it too much. But I did okay with Molly adding the sleeves after I completed the test. If you go to my Ravelry, which again, everything is linked down below that you might need to know about, my Ravelry page, I do have a project page that I put up all of the details as far as my sizing and yarn and all that good stuff. But I have sort of, not really a pattern, but sort of kind of how I made the sleeves. I roughly based them off of my Manoa cardie, which is one of my patterns. I did it kind of sort of the same way. So if you're familiar with that, it's kind of what went on. But it's not hard to add sleeves to something, especially if it already has that little raglan cap. I basically just picked up a certain amount, did a little tiny bit of math, not really, because I could try it on, so I didn't bother with the math too much. And yeah, and then just kind of kept track of how many rows I did some decreases, made sure the decreases matched on both sides, and happily ever after we have sleeves. But yeah, if you want more pictures and details on that, you can go to my Ravelry project page. You will not find a lot of projects in my Ravelry page, only because I literally only do them if it's required for a test, and I don't test a ton, so I think I have like 3 or 4 Ravelry projects up there. It is important for designers just because when you're releasing a pattern, it's really helpful because people search to see maybe other people's yarn choices or body types or, you know, all that stuff. So it's a lot of designers require, I do when I do a design, require that you put up a Ravelry project page just with your pictures and your feedback and thoughts and stuff on the pattern because it's helpful. And I think it does something as far as the algorithm too, as far as people interacting with the pattern. I'm not really sure. But I don't use Ravelry a lot. I sell on Ravelry, but let me just tell you, Ravelry and the way their site is set up, I love the idea of Ravelry, having this fiber community, but I wish they'd spend a little more time and effort on making their site not look like it was from 1997. I joined Ravelry back when it, like, shortly after it launched, when you had to, like, they, like, sent you an email with, like, a access code, and it was, like, this secret club early on, and I feel like there's been very little update to, like, the site itself. They have definitely grown, and they have put a lot of time and effort into inclusivity and political stances and stuff like that. I wish there was a little more effort on not looking like it was made in someone's basement in 1994. I'm so sorry, Ravelry, but your site is kind of awful. Yeah, married to a web developer, software designer, so he's kind of turned me into a computer snob. And not really, I really don't know what I'm talking about, but Ravelry I can look at and I'm like, ooh, that's bad. So yes, long story short, you'll be able to find my project page very easily because you will not have to scroll through a lot of Ravelry projects. Because I never do them for my own designs. Just make other people do them. And yeah, when I'm like mass producing hats and stuff for markets, I'm not putting up Ravelry projects. That's nonsense. But anyway, I think the Vantis is coming out beginning of December once Molly just sorts out all of her 40 bazillion tests she's got going on. Is the back? Yes. Okay. But I'm super happy with how it came out. I love the fit. I did, as per my Ravelry project page, size up. So it is a little bit larger on me than the intended fit, only because she had made it to have no positive ease, and I think I went up somewhere 2 to 4 inches because I just like things a little looser. I don't like tight. So yeah, it's cute, it's cozy. It's definitely heavier with the sleeves on because I added, you know, that much yarn to it. But I think I'm going to get a lot more wear out of it that way because I had designed it. I want to wear it for Christmas Eve. The color kind of picks up funky on here, but it's a winey color on top. And then it looks gold on here, but it's like this gross 2-tone green gold situation. All the yarn details are in the previous episode, so go back, watch that. But yeah, it's got some festive vibes to it, and it's really cozy now that I have the sleeves on it, so I'm going to wear it to Christmas Eve or Christmas or something Christmas related. If I do make myself another one, I want to make an all black version, and I think I would do it without the sleeves on it. The only reason I really wanted to add the sleeves is because when I was originally taking photos of it, I tried it with I have a black 3/4 length like cropped cardigan, so it was hitting just above the peplum. It was cute, but I felt like the black was taking away from this awesome color contrast situation, because obviously you could only see the front of it with the sleeves on it. What is that? So I wanted to have the sleeves so I wouldn't have to layer it. But I think if I had a solid black one, I have a lot of gray cardigans and black and white cardigans and all sorts of cardigans. So I think if I make another one, I will do all black and then layer it up. And it would be super cute. I'd be even cute with like a jean jacket, or I have like a yellow leather, faux leather, not real leather, jacket that it would look really cute with as well. So maybe come springtime, I'm going to make another one in black. All that being said, keep an eye on Molly's feed. It's a really awesome pattern, and if you're feeling like you got furiously fast fingers, you could whip one out before Christmas, definitely before New Year's, if you need a fancy New Year top. Yeah, it's just, I have a lot of crochet garments. I don't have a lot of crochet garments. Let's backtrack. Of the crochet garments that I have, they're all very gray, brown, mostly shades of gray, and neutrals. I like to do crazy colors when I'm doing like shawls and accessories, but if I'm doing a garment, I have yarn for a mustard yellow cardigan, I just haven't made it, but as of right now, all of my garments are neutral tones. So that's a really fun pop, I guess, into my crochet wardrobe. I think a lot of the ones that I have, if you know me, you know that I handmade it, but I don't think a lot of my crochet garment choices scream handmade, because I'm pretty legit, guys, and they look good. But I think the Vantis definitely has a I made this vibe to it, which I love. So I'm so excited to wear that, and if you want to go see all the pictures, go look at me on Instagram and Ravelry and whatever. Yeah, so that's that. Time for some more tea. Ready? Windmill! I'm getting good at this. Is it more awkward if I look into the teacup while I drink? Or if I stare into your souls while I drink? Probably the latter, right? Okay. We're doing good. Okay, so we talked about that. Those are the only projects I have to show you, finished or otherwise. Because, yeah, it's market season. And the other stuff I want to show you is all fallen on the floor. So I'm going to pin down, pick it up, and think about getting myself a side table. We're planning on, you can only see this little space right here, obviously, but right now this is our guest room. There's a queen-size bed directly in front of me. There is a keyboard, a bass, several guitars, ukulele, some more yarn. It's a lot of things going on in here. It's also all my daughter's birthday party stuff in a bin. But we're planning on putting the bed into storage because we don't actually, it's our guest room, but we don't actually have guests. All of our family lives local, so I don't know who these guests are. We're not hosting a lot of slumber parties right now. So we use the guest bed if one of us is like really sick and we don't want to spread the germs. But other than that, it's just taking up space. So it was a mattress that someone had given us, and yeah, so we're gonna go put it into storage. We're gonna move, we have a sleeper couch in here. So if we do have guests, they can sleep with all the yarn. Sleeper couch, I think we're gonna get some shelving, move the musical instruments around, move a table in here so I can do photos and tutorials. Because right now I take most of my photos on bed. But yes. So, you're probably not going to notice any difference. At some point I might do a yarn room tour. But yeah, right now it's not ideal in here. But when we're making it ideal, I'm going to have to get a side table so I don't drop all my stuff. So yeah, hang on. BRB, guys. Okay. So, let me show you. I have a stash position and I have a X-stash position. A stash I don't like that word. I don't know what else to call it. Some people say stash enhancements. I don't like enhancements either. I feel like that sounds like my stash got some Botox or something. I don't know. Like enhancements. So I don't know what to call it. Stuff that I have acquired. Stuff that I now have that I didn't have before. Stuff. I got stuff, guys. So what I got. This is a sock that I have finished. I showed it last time. It is a vanilla latte sock. But look, it's on a sock blocker. I have been wanting sock blockers. And I went to the Fiber Festival of New England, hoping that somebody there would have sock blockers. And there was one vendor that I found that had sock blockers, and they were totally just like the Knitter's Pride or Knit Picks versions. They weren't like handmade at all. So, didn't get them there. So I went on the old Etsy. And I will have my husband insert her name. Her Etsy name is one thing, and then her Instagram name is something different. I will insert both of them. I can pronounce neither of them. Because they are very Polish, and I am not very Polish. My husband's family is Polish. His grandparents spoke Polish, but he doesn't speak Polish. I definitely don't speak Polish. It is a tricky language. So I'm not even going to try and butcher it. We will just put it in somewhere. I think it goes over here. And yeah, then we're going to talk about how wonderful she is. So, this is obviously the sock on the sock blocker. These are her size smalls. I feel like, I think it was I wear like a 6.5 or a 7. My foot is like the width of a 7, but the length of a 6.5, if that makes sense. So I kind of go in between those two sizes. But I feel like this does fit, but it's maybe just a smidgen too big. I don't know if there was an extra small size or not. I did order a medium pair as well, and those are definitely larger. But yes, these are the size small. I think it was supposed to fit a US 5 to 7 or 6 to 7 or something like that. I don't have any other sock blockers to compare, so I really don't know if that's accurate or not. But they are beautiful. Let me show you it. Sans sock. It's a fox, guys. Or I guess it could be a skinny wolf, but it's a fox, and I love him. So these are laser cut. I don't know if you can see. It's got the nice like burnt wood from the laser. They are a nice thickness. It looks like they're maybe a piece of wood with like 2 veneers on top of it or something. I don't know. My husband used to do lasery fancy wood stuff when he was in the Air Force. He made cool stuff with lasers. But yeah, these are really nice quality. They're super thick. Not worried about these breaking, which we'll get to in a minute why I'm worried about things breaking. Nice and sturdy. I can hang them on my wall. And yeah, I'm not going to be knitting a ton of socks, but when I do, it's nice to have these to show the socks on and take pictures of and whatnot. And yeah, it's just got a fox and I love that. But her shop has all sorts of pretty floral designs. It's mostly florals. I think they may have been I can't remember what other animals. It might have been only the fox. But basically her Etsy shop is gorgeous. And she has really high quality, nice sock blockers shipped from Poland. And I'm pretty sure the shipping was included in the price. I don't remember that, or it was really reasonable. It wasn't bad to ship to the US at all. I think they were around $25, which I feel like for a laser engraved wood handmade beautiful quality product is really reasonable. And yeah, so I'm really happy with this purchase. Highly recommend her if you are looking for some sock blockers in your life. And yeah, I always prefer to support handmade than buying the Knit Picks version if I can avoid it. And I don't like those plastic ones. I think they're ugly. So I didn't want like blue plastic. I wanted nice wood ones. And she does, you could get some customization. I don't remember if it was an added charge or not. It may have been an added couple dollars, but she can laser engrave like Bella's socks or whatever. I guess my business name. I didn't bother putting my business name on it because I'm Bella's Custom Crochets and I don't crochet socks for business. They are for selfishness. Socks of selfishness. So yeah, I didn't get anything engraved on it, but I could have. I think they're really nifty. So go buy some. Really like them. And she's messaged me on Instagram and she's very sweet. So, appreciate that. in relation, I don't want to make this a bad product review, but in relation to wooden engraved things, a lot of people are familiar with Krinkles. She is out of Rhode Island, so she is like the state next to me, and she was at the Fiber Festival of New England as well. She just got married. She makes really beautiful things. I got this lovely gauge ruler. I don't gauge if I'm just crocheting for myself. I'm not gonna lie, or knit. But if I'm doing testing, or if I'm doing, see, that's what I wanted to show you. If I'm doing testing or designing, you need to do a gauge swatch. It's very important. So usually I had been measuring, with a ruler, 4x4. But I really wanted one of these. I wanted, when my parents went to London, I wanted them to get me the Loop London version, but she had been out of stock. Excuse me. Let's have a sip of tea. Let's wet that whistle. She had been out of stock, so when I went to the Fiber Festival, I definitely wanted to get one of these. Krinkles makes really beautiful ones, and she's very well known for doing like custom tags, and she does like Rhinebeck sweater tags, and she has all these little like keychains that have like the Kitchener stitch, or I forget the rest, but yeah, Krinkles makes really cute stuff. But unfortunately, I do not want to say this is a review of her product because it's not her fault. It is just the design of it, I think would be flimsy regardless, because it's a piece of wood with like the middle missing, so it's not sturdy. First what happened is down here, my daughter got a hold of it, she snapped that part. She stepped on it. She was like holding it, and then she put her foot down, snapped it real good. So then that was broken, and I was like, okay, I can work with that. And then I had it, you can't see, but up above me there's a like ceramic jar, or like a wine bottle-y looking thing that I had it hanging off of. I have some like circular needles hanging off of it and stuff, so I had it looped around the neck of the jar, and then that fell, because I was reaching for something, so that fell, and then it fell on top of it, and it just died. So it's not Krinkles' fault. She could make them a little thicker, but I think if it was as thick as this, it probably would be sturdier, but still you shouldn't let a baby step on it, and you shouldn't drop a ceramic jug on it either. So yeah, it died, and I never even got to use it for a pretty photo. My husband is going to attempt to wood glue it, but I think that's probably not going to result in the most beautiful photo prop. It wasn't very expensive, so it's not the saddest loss, but I really wanted to use it and have it be pretty and be fancy for like fiber flat lays and stuff. So yeah, rip my Krinkles gauge ruler. We'll see if we can bring it back to life, but I may have to get another one. Well, I will have to get another one. But I'm wondering if I do get another one, if I will maybe wood glue it onto this one so it's nice and sturdy. I don't know. If anybody has any recommendations for a really sturdy gauge ruler, maybe I need a metal one. I don't know. I like the wood engraved stuff, and I like supporting local, but I don't know if throwing this in a bag is like a good idea. I feel like it would be very easily broken. I don't know why you'd be carrying a gauge ruler around with you though. I don't know. I need a sturdier one. It's clearly, yeah, clearly no. Though it did break right at like the 4. No, I'm not going to try and use this as a ruler. I don't know, guys. So that's my ramble about laser engraved things. I have my tags laser engraved by a local guy. Pat Carroll Designs does all of my logo tags, and he can laser engrave just about anything. He calls himself Designs because he will literally do whatever with that laser of his. So maybe I need him to make me a custom one. Pat, I know you're not watching this podcast, but we might need to talk gauge rulers, because that'll be fun to explain to someone who doesn't crochet. I don't know. We've talked about that enough. Let's move on. Rest in peace, Krinkles ruler. I think we're wrapping up. The only other thing I wanted to show you, last time I talked about these a little bit, so we'll make this quick, but I did a shop update, if you will, over on Instagram of these. I think that shows up pretty good against. Good enough. these rolled paper beads that my friend Johanna makes. We'll put her info down below. She makes the beads and then she sells jewelry out of them, but she agreed to let me have some to do stitch markers. So these are knit friendly, crochet friendly because they are lever back. So they, I mean, where did it go? I'm not taking these off. No, hang on. Okay. See? I mean, this is obviously not a roll paper bead, but it's the same. Hooks into the project, so you can use it as a progress keeper or a stitch marker. And you can use it on crochet, obviously, as well. And any weight yarn, because they're nice and large. I don't like those lobster claw ones, because I feel like those only fit on lace or fingering weight, or they end up splitting your yarn. But I did a shop update last week over on Instagram. They are all in a highlight at the top of my Instagram feed. A bunch of them sold, but there are some left. So if you are looking for some one-of-a-kind, super unique, either stitch markers for yourself or as a gift, I have them in sets of 5, sets of 3, and then individuals. So yeah, pop on over there to the Instagrams and take a peek. So I have some left, and I'm not going to be doing any more before Christmas. So what's up there is what we got. That's my little plug for that. I think that's it, guys. Take another sip of tea before I start my wrap-up ramble. Ooh, you're maintaining eye contact. Eyebrows. Like I said, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Not my favorite holiday. Don't love the origin story of it. I think we nicen it up a lot. Thanksgiving is a U.S. holiday, obviously. If you're not in the U.S., tomorrow is not Thanksgiving, but for us it is. And I kind of don't like that people a lot of times only remember to be thankful in between November and December with that like holiday spread. You should be thankful all of the time. So Thanksgiving kind of annoys me. Also, I am not, I've been a vegetarian for like close to 19 years at this point, so turkey don't do nothing for me. And I am not big on squishy, mushy food. I like my vegetables to have some life in them. So I don't like casseroles. I don't like things that have been roasted and pureed into some sort of mush. Like mashed potatoes, I can get down with mashed potatoes. That's cool. I love some carbs. But, yeah. A lot of the Thanksgiving food is all just brown and soggy and sad. I don't like it. But that's just a personal problem. But we are going to my husband's uncle's house, and yeah, holidays are interesting for us because super grateful that everyone is local and all of our family is in, other than like one great grandparent that lives in Florida, everyone is in Connecticut. And they're all within a like 15-minute radius, which is amazing to have that much love and support, but come holiday time, it can spread you a little thin. So we have a pretty good system set up of like, this is your day this year, and then this alternates, and then we go here, and then Christmas Eve is with you, Christmas Day is, and we spread it out pretty well, but it still ends up being starting right before Thanksgiving and then all the way through New Year of just alternating going to people's houses and bringing food and loving each other, which isn't a bad problem, but it is a lot of love. So that kicks off tomorrow. I'm bringing some pumpkin roll and some Italian wedding cookies because we're showing up definitely for dessert. I don't know if we're going to make it for the main meal because my baby naps. And I'm not skipping a nap to eat mushy food. And my husband's family is very casual. They don't do like a big sit down thing. It's very much, they like set out a buffet and everybody just hangs out, and there's like 7 million children running around. So it's very casual, which is nice. So we're just going to show up when she wakes up from nap, bring her a little pumpkin roll, have a little Thanksgiving day. And that's going to be it. If you want to, down below, leave me a little comment about what it is that you are thankful for. Just because, it is good practice to be thankful. And like I said, I just hate that it has to be around Thanksgiving time that people mention this, but since we're doing it anyway, let me know what you're thankful for this year, whether it's today, just a little thing, a little ray of sunshine, or this big, I'm I'm thankful for my job or my house or whatever thing, I would just love to know. A little bit of joy and gratefulness down in the comment section. If I have to pick one thing, obviously I have so many things to be thankful for. If I had to pick one, it would be my Biddy Rue, my daughter. She was born last year just before Thanksgiving, so she is a year old now, and we waited a long time to have a kid, and having one is really worth the wait. She is fantastic. Toddler life is interesting. Toddler life is interesting. I know it's just starting, but she is such a joy, and best year of my life so far. So yeah, that's what I'm thankful for. I think that's all I have to tell you. Obviously, this podcast is going to be going up after Thanksgiving because we're not going to get this up in the next 10 hours. Basically, that's going to be the deal with any of my episodes. I record and then my husband edits them as he has time. He works full time. Obviously, he wants to come home, spend some time to himself, see our daughter. Then usually once she goes to bed, he works either on my website or on podcasts now, or videos. So yeah, I keep him busy. He's wonderful, but it takes him usually about a week just with the time frame we're working with. So this will show up later, but whatever. There's nothing that you're really going to be cliffhanger waiting for, I don't think. And yeah, so it'll just release a little bit after I talk about the stuff, and you'll be fine. We're all going to be okay. So that's that. If you would like to like and subscribe, that is marvelous. If you would not like to, marvelous as well. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you watching me ramble again and helping me kind of work out how this podcast thing is going to work. It ended up a little shorter, which I think I did good. I would like to keep it under 45 minutes if we could. Well, we'll see. Every time's going to be different, and I appreciate you being along for that ride. So I hope you have had in the past, in the future, whatever, wherever we are, have a great Thanksgiving, have a great kickoff to your holiday season, and yes, I think that's everything I needed to say. So I'm going to sign off and go put some sprinkles on some cookies. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful whatever it is you're having, and thank you for being here. Bye.